What if the reason your business isn't growing isn't because you don't have enough products, it's because you have too many? One website built its entire business around a pillow. One pillow, not 10 categories, not a massive catalog, a pillow designed specifically for side sleepers. Simple. According to the numbers highlighted in today's case study, right? So we're looking at a video, right here by Tim Richard, and it's called "This One Product Website Makes $600,000 a Month." Go check it out. We'll link it in the description. And so that's what we're going to be covering today. So according to the numbers highlighted in the video, the company has sold more than $35 million worth of its core product, and that's the lesson. Some entrepreneurs are trying to sell everything to everybody. We don't want to do that. And meanwhile, somebody else is focusing on one solution, solving one specific problem with one specific product, and focus on one specific customer. That's where we're going to break this down today. And we're going to be talking about that one product strategy. Okay. And how we can use it to find opportunities hiding in plain sight.
Right. Now, here's what actually grabs our attention about this very specific business model, right? The companies that are mentioned in the video aren't necessarily inventing entirely new products or categories or service areas or industries. This isn't like groundbreaking information. What they're good at, though, is finding demand that already exists, identifying a group of people that actually desire a particular thing, and they're figuring out how to fill that demand. So they're building better positioned products around that demand. Like H was just saying, the example, the pillow for side sleepers, right? Another example is like a particular bed for larger dogs. Another example, a particular mattress for heavier customers. A leash designed specifically for biking with your dog. Waterproof shoes that are, styled for everyday wear. Very simple products, but very specific for the particular needs for specific customers. That's what we're breaking down today.
Yeah, so most entrepreneurs approach business backwards, right? And I've been guilty of this myself. We say, I've got a product, now I need to find somebody to buy it, right? So we're focusing on like, oh, I'm just gonna grab a product and then go and find customers. No, wrong order. The smarter question is, what are people already buying or already trying to buy, and no one is serving them exceptionally well? Let me rephrase that. So what are people already trying to buy that nobody is serving exceptionally well? That's a completely different game, right? See, when we're trying to make a product fit a customer, we have it all backwards, right? We're not trying to manufacture demand, right? You can't manufacture demand, right? We want to identify demand. So we don't want to create demand. We want to identify demand. Where's the demand already exists? Let me find a product and serve that customer up. So by the end of this episode, we're going to give you 3 filters that you can use to recognize these opportunities, as well as a system that's built for turning one into something executable.
All right. So first things first, niche the customer, not necessarily the product. Back to the pillow example, right? The pillow is not innovative. There are thousands of pillows out on the market, all different shapes and sizes. But a pillow specifically for side sleepers, now what the company is getting into is changing their positioning to fit the specific demand for a very specific group of people. The video that we're talking about highlights Pillow Cube, which they report that they started focusing heavily on that customer and searches for side sleepers or side sleeping pillows. So using like Google Trends, Google Search, finding that information to identify that there is a real demand for this product, right? It's the same category, but a different level of specificity. And so the other pattern is like with the dog beds. Again, it already existed, right? But the company began to focus on the larger beds for these huge dogs. And so Big Fig, they did it with mattresses. They weren't simply selling another mattress, they built one specifically around heavier sleepers. So the takeaway from these examples, and that is mentioned in the video, is that you don't always need an original product. Sometimes you need to identify the underserved customer and serve those. The riches aren't just in the niches, the riches are in becoming the obvious choice inside the niche.
Exactly. So, key point number 2. All right. Stop guessing what people want. All right. Study what they're already searching for. This might be the biggest lesson in the entire case study. The businesses highlighted in the video weren't just targeting random niche audiences. There was evidence of intent. Intent. Keyword. Evidence of intent. Okay. People were searching for things like best pillow for side sleepers, a dog bike leash, men's journal, large dog bed, waterproof shoes. Okay. Those searches are customers raising their hands and saying, hey, I'm looking for this specific thing. Who has it? Right? Imagine 5,000 people walking past your office every month saying, does anybody sell this? You wouldn't ignore them. But entrepreneurs do the digital equivalent every single day. How many times have you bought a product off of Amazon and read through the reviews and saw issues that were going on with the product? Needs and wants that customers are asking for that aren't being solved, right? That's an opportunity. Okay. So these types of entrepreneurs who do this build products based on what sounds cool instead of researching what customers are actively trying to solve. The key takeaway to this is search behavior is market research. Your customers are literally typing their problems into Google, YouTube, Amazon, Reddit, you name it, on social platforms every single day. Your job, our job, is to listen to what the comments, reviews, listen to all of that chatter and find the opportunity within that.
Right. And I think this last key point is a major point at that, right? Win small before you expand big. And I think a lot of times before even niching down, people feel like they're missing out on the totality of the market and they're missing out on all these other opportunities by not being able to compete in a larger space. And so they're afraid to niche down because they feel like they're missing out on money. But win small before you expand big. One of the most dangerous ideas in entrepreneurship is thinking you need to look huge from day one. You don't. What you need to be is relevant, right? In this particular case study, the company that did the waterproof shoes, Vessi, right? There's a massive footwear industry, but instead of saying we're another shoe company, they niched down to a very specific idea. Everyday shoes that are waterproof. It's memorable, and narrowing down helped them to actually latch on to the market and grow easier. The message is clear, your content is clear, people are able to find you more easily, your SEO becomes clear, your partnerships become clear. People know exactly who they're looking for. They're not looking for shoes in general. You don't get meshed in and blended in with all the millions of shoes out there. People are looking for the waterproof ones and they know exactly who has them. Niching down does that for you, right? Most importantly, the customer understands, exactly who you are, how to find you, and your product exists and is capable of standing out. And once you've earned that attention, just trust the process, right? Your revenue will grow, you'll have the opportunities to expand, and your business will grow. Now, the key takeaway here, though, is don't launch wide because you want a big company. You need to dominate something small enough that you can own. Amazon can sell everything because they're Amazon. You're not Amazon yet. Give people a very specific reason to remember you and your company.
Yep, yep. Now, this is where DreamStream comes into play, right? DreamStream strategy. If you haven't heard, check it out, dreamstreamstrategy.com, right? DreamStream strategy is very important at this stage. Why? Because spotting an opportunity is not the same thing as executing one. All right. You can find the perfect niche and still lose because your execution is scattered. DreamStream is about converting the opportunity into a system, right? Start with DreamStream. Think about it from the perspective of what specific outcome are we building towards? Then build the stream. What actions need to happen consistently to create that outcome? Research, validation, product development, content, SEO, outreach, conversion, so many things, customer feedback, optimization, right? DreamStream becomes the AI powered execution app that keeps those actions connected to the actual objective, because entrepreneurs don't usually lose because they couldn't come up with another idea. They lose because ideas keep replacing execution. One opportunity, one strategy, one execution system. That's how momentum compounds over and over again.
Right. So here's the assignment: find 10 specific problems people are actively searching for. Now, products, problems. Number two, look for very specific things, niche things. Don't research mattress for who, what, why. Look for the particular problems. Look for mattress in particular situations. Number three, validate demand before building, right? What you want to look at in these instances is volume. How many searches are occurring? Look for reviews. Look for Reddit conversations. Look for Amazon complaints, TikTok comments, competitor weaknesses. You're looking for evidence that customers are already asking for a better solution. Number four, create your one sentence positioning statement, right? We make X specifically for Y who struggle with Z. If that sentence isn't
Boom.
clear, then keep working at it. Number five, put the execution plan into DreamStream, right? Break the opportunity into measurable actions and execute them consistently. Don't take 6 months like pondering this idea. Actually test it out.
Yep, yep. So now we want you to do something. Look back at your business, right? And ask yourself, are we trying to sell too many things to too many people? Now, this is an honest conversation that you just need to have with yourself, all right? All entrepreneurs, I feel like, have been guilty of this. You want to add all these products. You want, oh, we can do this, we can do that, da, 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 da. Oh, this product is cool. And then we can upsell them on this. Ask yourself honestly, are we trying to sell too many things? And then ask yourself, what's one offer that we could become known for? One thing, all right? Cut the fat, cut all the rest of it out. What's one offer that you could become known for? Then ask yourself, Who's the specific customer we could serve better than everyone else? Put your answer in the comments. All right. And if you're building a business and you're serious about execution, subscribe to the League of Hustlers, of course, because around here, ideas are cheap. Execution is the actual currency.
Right. And remember this, you don't need everybody. You just need the right group of people to believe, right? This is built specifically for me. That's how you should be making this group of people feel, that your product or service is built specifically tailored for them. Find the problem, narrow the market, build the solution, create the system, right? And execute it until you actually own that entire lane.
Exactly. You see it on the screen. Execution is the currency. Let's get it. Let's go. All right. And follow for more. Chip.
I'm becoming who I picture. Now the vision getting clearer. I'm stepping as a one. New level just begun. Level just a one. New level just begun. I'm becoming who I picture.